So, are you thinking about buying a salvage vehicle, but really don't know the steps to take to get it street legal again? Well, it's not that hard as you think, at least not here in Jersey. All right, so the first step is to find your salvage vehicle, whether you get it through an insurance company or through a local salvage yard like Copart or IAA, or you buy a salvage vehicle off of Facebook Marketplace or wherever, Craigslist, whatever. Once you buy the vehicle, you go to the Department of Motor Vehicle and get the salvage title transferred into your name. Okay, now, for the last vehicle that I picked up from Copart, I was charged $60 for the title transfer fee, plus a penalty fee of $25 because I didn't transfer the title into my name within 10 days. In New Jersey, if you don't transfer the title into your name within 10 days, they tack on a $25 penalty fee. So it's $60 for the transfer, the $60 for the title transfer fee, $25 penalty fee. And since this time it was a car that I bought, the inspection fee is $200. If it was a motorcycle, it would have been only $100. All right. So it's $60 for the title transfer fee, $25 for the penalty fee, and $200 for the salvage inspection. That's all I had to pay on this past vehicle. Other states may be different. Their fee schedules may be different, but that's how it is in New Jersey. Once you pay the fee, you have up to a year to get the vehicle inspected. Now, the next step is to make sure you have photos of your vehicle before you do any repairs. That's important. So you need, if it's a car, you need the front, the back, and both sides of the car. It can be shot at an angle. The pictures can be shot at an angle as long as nothing is cut off. You can't have the roof cut off. You can't have the front bumper cut off in the picture or the rear bumper cut off in the picture. It has to show the complete car, all four sides. The same with a bike, the front, the back, side to side. The next step is the purchase of your parts. Keep all the receipts for all the parts that you purchase for the vehicle. Now, you don't have to give them the receipts for every little bulb or screw that you bought. It's mainly the major parts of the car. If it's a car, it's the hood, the fender, the bumper, the core support, whatever. If it's a bike, it's the plastics, or it's any major component. If it's not a sport bike, like if it's a Harley, like the gas tank, fenders, stuff like that. You don't have to give them all the receipts to for the screws and stuff like that. It's just the major components that you're replacing. On new parts, all they need to see on the receipt is the description of the part and the part number. But on used parts, they need a description of the part, the date the part was dismantled or removed. They want the name and address of the person or the business that removed the part. They need to know the year, make, and model, and definitely the VIN number of the vehicle the part was removed from. And if the VIN number is not available, you must supply a statement from the seller as to why the VIN is not available. That's very important. Before I get ahead of myself, when you go down to your local DMV and you get the title transferred in your name, they give you a form. Here in New Jersey, it's an OS/SS-3 form. And that's the form that you would fill out with all your information and everything and bring with you when it's time to go to get your vehicle inspected. There's an area on the form that they give you to list all the parts that you have a VIN number for, all the used parts, if you're using used parts, to list your VIN number. They require that you list the VIN numbers of all the major components that you replaced on this form. All right. Your next step, if you're doing the work yourself, or if you're having a shop do the work for you to put the car back together, they have to provide you with a work order or a statement of work. If you're doing it yourself, you have to just create your own work order. And that is just a list of the things that was done to the vehicle, the work that was done to the vehicle, and who performed the work, along with the date that the work was performed. And you fill out this work order or a statement of work, and once it's complete, have it notarized. Getting the work order or statement of work notarized is no big deal. It only costs like $2 or $3. You may get away with not doing it, but to be on the safe side, it's better to have it than to have them tell you once you go down there to come back with a notarized statement of work or a notarized work order. Your next step is to take pictures of the car complete now. The same thing as before. You take the picture of the front, the back, side to side. It could be at an angle as long as you get all the complete one side of the car, like front and side or back and side, as long as the pictures are complete with no cutoffs. All right, so now you're ready to get your vehicle inspected. Let's go over the necessary documents you have to bring with you to complete your salvage inspection. The first thing and the most important thing is your salvage title that was issued in your name. Number 2, the copy of the OS/SS-3 form attached to your salvage title. That's the form that they gave you when you went down to get the title in your name. You have it properly filled out and have your title attached to that form. Number 3, the receipts, the bill of sale for each major component that you bought, whether new or used. Have all your receipts. Number 4, your before and after color photos. Front, back, side to side, before and after. Number 5, your work order showing all the repairs made. You need to have the VIN numbers of the new and used parts with detailed description of work performed on your work order. And it's best to have it notarized. Some places will let you get away with not having it, but to be on the safe side, pay the $3 or $4 they charge for notarization and have it notarized. All right. The next, if it's a flood vehicle, a damage report from the insurance company is required. That's only if it's a flood vehicle. And the last one, if it's a theft recovery vehicle, a theft report from the law enforcement agency which recovered the stolen vehicle is required. So those are the necessary documents you need to bring with you on your day of inspection. Okay, so now you have to make your appointment for your salvage inspection. All the paperwork that I just was talking about, you have to email that to the inspection site, and they'll review it and approve it before an appointment for the inspection can be made. What you do is you scan it or however you want to do it, or copy and scan it, and you email it to them, to the location. Now in New Jersey, they have 3 locations that they have that they do inspections out of. One is in Eatontown, One is in Westfield and one is in Winslow. They each have an email address, and I'll post those. I'll post a picture of their email address, and I also will put it down in under the video. And you email all those documents over to them, and they'll get back to you within a day or two. With me, I did it. I emailed them my copies of the stuff on Friday, and Monday, that following Monday, they called me. They called me back to set up an appointment. And when they called me, they asked what day would I like. I thought it was going to take a long time, but it didn't. They said I could come in the next day, but I wasn't ready to come in the next day, so I put it out a week later. So the following week after I sent in the paperwork, I had my appointment set for my vehicle inspection. These locations also have a phone number you can call, but you can't call them until after you email them all your paperwork to them first, and if they don't get back to you right away. They got back to me right away, but who knows, in your situation what may happen. But there is a number you can call them, but first you have to email them all your documentation, and you can call them and set up your appointment. Or you could wait for them to call you like they did me, and they took like maybe not even, it was just over the weekend. I put it in on Friday, and on that following Monday, they called me back to set up my appointment. On the day of your appointment, make sure you get there on time. Don't be late, because they will, even if you're like a couple of minutes late, they will cancel your appointment and you'll have to reschedule. And you may end up having to pay that whole $200 fee again. So make sure you're on time. Actually be 15 to 20 minutes earlier. They only give you 5 working days to reschedule. If something comes up and you have to reschedule your appointment, you can only do it within 5 working days. Any less than that and you cancel, you'll have to pay that $200 fee again. The inspection will take about roughly an hour or less. It could be about 45 minutes. Mine took about 45 minutes, but expect to stay there about an hour. And you can't be in the facility with you. When I pulled in, they asked me to open up my hood, open up my trunk, and leave my doors open. And they took you bring all that paperwork with you that you emailed them, all your receipts, your form, your title, your pictures, everything. You bring that with you, you hand it to them, and they'll escort you out of the building. In my case, I went to the Westfield location, the Westfield, New Jersey location. They escorted me out and told me to go into this room next door to where they was doing the inspection at, where they had like a little waiting room area. And I sat there for about 45 minutes. And you can't see what they're doing. They don't let you see how they inspect the car, nothing. And 45 minutes later, the guy came back out to get me. He brought me around and said, "You're all done." And my car passed. And that's it. It may sound like it's a lot of stuff to do, but it really isn't. Don't let the paperwork and all the pictures and all that stuff discourage you. It's a good deal if you can find a good salvage car that you want. First of all, you get the car at a discount, at a Copart or somebody online or whatever selling a salvage vehicle, and don't want to go through the hassle of getting the car rebuilt and back on the road again. For those who do it like I do it, do all the work themselves, it's good because you can get a lot of bikes, you can get a lot of cars, trucks, whatever, for good deals by doing it like this. And whether you want to sell a car or the bike, or you want to keep them for yourself, It's really not a hassle, and I recommend more people to do it. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed or learned something from this video. Hopefully I covered everything. I'm going kind of off the top of my head, but I'm sure I covered everything that you need to know to get your car to pass your salvage inspection here in New Jersey. But this should work in your state. All right? So until next time, I'm out.